This video is for code.org, lesson 11, levels 6 through 11. So first what we're going to do is we're going to add a console log statement inside the draw loop. So if we scroll down at the bottom, basically it's going to go under the update because that's when it's going to start to move. So to get the console log, it's going to be under variables. If we scroll down, there it is. And so basically the console log is a variable because it'll change from true to false. So we're going to just click and drag that to go underneath the code that shows that the race car will be moving. Then from here, what we're going to do is add a Boolean expression that asks, is the X position of the race car less than the X position of the finish line? So you're going to click on math and then scroll down, and we're going to get the less than block, and we're going to click and drag that into the message. And then we're going to click on sprites, and then you're going to find the sprite X. And so then what you want to do is drag a sprite X into the math blocks. And of course, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to change the name. So basically we've got, we want to see if the X position of the race car is less than the X position of the finish line. So we're going to type in race car for the first sprite. Make sure that you copy the correct spelling and capitalization. The name of the finish line is up here, so it's the same thing where it starts with a lowercase letter and then the word line has a capital L. So I'm just going to make sure I type that in right here. So type in finish line. So then it's going to say console log race car X is less than finish line X. So then what we're going to do is I'm just going to change this number right here just to make it a little faster than 2. So I'm going to go ahead and type in 20. And then we're going to click on run. So then from here, what it's going to do is it's going to say false, but then as soon as it crosses the finish line, it says true because the X of the race car is off the screen and is less than the finish line. So we're just going to go ahead and click on finish and then click on continue. So then from here, what we're going to do, we're going to add a console log statement again in the update values. So we're just going to, again, it's under variables. So we're going to click and drag the console log message to go underneath where the fruit scale changes. And then from here, what we're going to do is add a Boolean expression that checks whether the fruit scale is greater than 2. So again, the greater than is going to be under math. So then we're going to just scroll down and find the greater than symbol. And we're going to click and drag that into the console log message. And then from here, we're going to click on sprites. And we're going to find the sprite scale, and of course we're going to have to click and drag it to go into the before the greater than and change the name so that it says fruit. And then you're going to type in 2, and so then what the console log is going to do is it's going to say either true or false if the fruit scale is greater than 2. I'm just going to change this right here to make it a little faster, so I'm just going to erase the 0 so that it's just 0.1. And then click on run, and then as it runs, watch the console log. So we're going to click on run, and it says false, 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 and then when it gets bigger than 2, it says true. Okay, so then we're going to click on finish and click on continue. And then from here, what you're going to do is it's going to go through the comparison operators. We're just going to scroll down to the bottom and click on continue for now. Next, we're going to skip the video for now, so scroll down and click on continue. Then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to be adding if statements, and this is why we use basically conditionals, so that we can have certain things happen if a greater than is, present, or if a less than is present. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down and we're going to add an if statement after we update the position of the car. So basically it's going to go in line 14. So in order to do that, you're going to click on control, and then you're going to click and drag the if statement here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to move the Boolean expression from the console log into the condition of the if statement. So basically that's this orange stuff right here. So I'm just going to click and drag that into the if statement. I'm just going to click and drag the console log. See how it's all, it's got that little yellow, because now that it's blank, we're not really using it anymore, so we're just going to get rid of it. And then what we're going to do is, if the race car X is less than the finish line X, we're going to have text appear that says winner. So you're going to click on drawing, and then from here what you're going to do is scroll down to the text size. I'm just going to drag that into the if statement. 24 would be a good size, and then you're going to click and drag the text string XY to go underneath the text size. And so then we're going to type in winner. And from there, what you'll do is put the position. So if I want it to appear like about halfway across the screen, I would do maybe about 200, and I don't want it to be all the way at the top. So maybe I'll do like 30, for example. And so then what I'm going to do is click on run. And so then what should happen is once it crosses the finish line, we see our text. So now we're going to click on finish and click on continue. Okay, and then so this is the level that's going to be graded. Basically what you're going to do is use a conditional in the draw loop to check whether fruit scale is greater than 2, and if it is, you're going to change the fruit's animation to pair. So if we scroll down, basically what you're going to do is click on control to add that if statement. And then we're going to click and drag that into line 12. What we're going to do is we're going to take the fruit scale block, the orange, and put it inside the if statement right here. And now that we don't really need the console log, see how it has the yellow, we're just going to get rid of it. And then we're going to say if the fruit scale is greater than 2, we're going to change it into a pair. We're going to do that by clicking on sprites, and you're going to set the sprite animation. So we're going to click and drag that into the if statement. Again, make sure that all of our labels match. So we're going to type in fruit, and then where it says set animation, we're going to type in pair. Now what you should do is click on the animation tab to make sure that the name matches. So we've got pair, and then if you click on code, again we have the code that says pair. Again, spelling is all correct. And then what we're going to do is click on run, and if you want to change the fruit scale to 0.1, that's what I have mine as, and you'll notice that it gets bigger, bigger, bigger. Then when it gets to larger than 2, it turns into a pair, and that's it.